A rare glimpse inside one of the world's leading and very private technology companies. Its telecom systems connect a third of the world's mobile phones, and globally it employs 110,000 staff, more than Cisco or Microsoft. The company is Huawei, born and bred in Shenzhen, southern China, and it epitomizes today's power of Asia.
It's a very young company. It is less than 20 years old. Our workforce is also very young. The average age is 29. So there's a very dynamic environment within the company. Huawei's 2010 revenues was 28 billion, and we've announced that over the next 10 years, we expect the company to grow to $100 billion in revenue. Now, where is that growth coming from?
Well, first and foremost, it's workers, of which 46% are engaged in R&D. The company has applied for over 49,000 patents. Huawei attracts the cream of China's engineers, postgraduates like Zhong Jianwei, who discovered that working here is very different from most large Chinese companies, with the rigid status chains of command.
Every day, I need to communicate with Huawei staff all over the world. It's international or global. We have to consider the time differences. I've never experienced this before.
To achieve its growth targets, the company also wants new experiences. It's not going to drop its core business, providing the infrastructure for mobile operators in 140 countries. But it is developing two new strategic pillars.
A lot of it is driven by the larger forces of convergence. There are other customer segments out there, such as the enterprise market and increasingly the device market.
Enterprise is about developing technology that helps make companies, even cities, more efficient, and in this case, more secure. Huge efforts are going into video conferencing, from standard desktop or mobile use to the kind of systems used by large corporations and governments. The goal is to create near face-to-face communication. The design team is now working on reducing the distracting seams between the screens.
Within the next 1 to 2 years, we will step by step go from a narrow gap to no gap to even 3D. Now, we're working on the technology. We want to deliver a trusted high-level experience.
Enterprise has moved the company into the IT sector. It plans to be a big player in providing solutions for tech convergence. Huawei has also set its sights on the cloud, from creating the basic hardware to developing the software and applications. It's also marketing the cloud in a box, kitting out standard shipping containers as fully functional data centers, which can then be dropped off ready for use. Albeit delivering in much smaller boxes, Huawei is making an aggressive push into the consumer market, video on demand, phones, 4G network cards. This year, it expects to ship 60 million cell phones, from entry-level to smart. Huawei is now seriously into brand building with the public at large, with tablets like this and smartphones like that. Taking a leaf out of Apple's book, the company also plans to develop a network of retail stores in China and overseas. It has an image problem, however, among US lawmakers, who accuse the company of maintaining links with China's military. Citing national security concerns, they've vetoed 2 Huawei purchases of US technology firms. Huawei has long rejected such concerns, stressing it is an employee-owned company that welcomes a serious discussion with its detractors in order to put the accusations to rest.